Hey guys, it's the Swamp Cleaner, and I'm back with another video for you. But before I get started, I just want to give a big thank you to everybody who has subscribed to my channel over the past couple of weeks, about the last week and a half. It's been a crazy time. If you guys follow me and follow anybody I'm subscribed to, you pretty much know why it's been so crazy. Censorship is on the rise, and it's trying times that we are heading into. But even through all that, I hit 100 subscribers, and I actually went well past that. So I want to say thank you to everybody. Um, and I will be having a stream later on this evening. Hopefully, I have a few friends on there. We can have some fun. If I can get my friends rustled up, hopefully we can do that stream. And before I also get started, check me out on BitChute here. I only have 4 subscribers, but in case something happens to my YouTube with all the censorship that's going on and I suddenly disappear, you can find me at BitChute at the same name, the Swamp Cleaner, and I'm going to be uploading there just as much as I'm uploading here. So if I disappear, this is where you can find me. But today, I'm going to talk to you about why me and so many other people like me are advocating for an internet bill of rights and or regulation of the big tech corporations, and why we are right in our argument to have this happen. We all know the past couple of years the polarization on social media has become very bad. I mean, it's been simmering underneath for a good maybe close to a decade, but in the past 3 years especially, it's been really ramping up, especially in the wake of Donald Trump's successful candidacy for the president and his first 18 months in office, and all the things that have happened in that time on social media. It's gotten so polarized to the point where we now have people analyzing Donald Trump calling somebody a dog. And that's how polarized it is. If you go to Twitter and type in Amorosa dog, you'll see people telling us that this is a dog whistle to people on the right, and that Trump is pretty much saying that he's a racist, and this is proof that he needs to get deplatformed, and everybody's cheering and upvoting that. And then you have other people who are advocating dog is ambiguous. You can call anybody a dog. That's true. I mean, a dog, it implies more of the action of what the dog is doing or how a dog acts, not the physical appearance, I think, or the color of the dog, as pretty much, because that's what racism is. It's about color. I don't know how calling somebody a dog is racist. I mean, that's speciesist, I guess. But that's how petty and how vitriolic it gets. People are up in arms at each other's throats, and people are flagging and getting people censored over their opinions on what somebody said. It's pretty much pathetic at this point. But this has been simmering for years, and it's gotten really bad in the last year and a half, especially. And we've gotten to the point where we have split in social media. We have new social medias coming out like Gab, Minds, BitChute, other ones like Steemit. They're all coming out in wake of what has been happening in the past year and a half, and that is the censorship and banning of certain people on big tech platforms because of their opinions and the fact that some people got offended by them, which is insane. And you now actually have a social justice social media, counter social. I was actually watching a Tim Pool video today, and he showed us this. What is counter social? Counter social is the first social media network, or first social network platform to take a zero tolerance stance on hostile nations, bot accounts, and trolls who are weaponizing our social media platforms and freedoms to engage in influence operations against us. And we're here to counter it. So you can see how this will attract people who like to censor, because they deem people with different opinions bots, trolls, and they deserve to get banned because they are using our platforms, as in we, are using their platforms to attack them, and which is simply not the case. They are actually classic case of projection. They are doing the exact same thing to us. And case in point, Alex Jones. He's been banned off of major platforms like Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook. Just today, he's got a 7 day ban on Twitter, but that's not enough. These people are still continuing to go after him. Even his website is under denial of service attacks and DNS attacks. He can barely keep the site online. So it's one thing to deplatform, but then to completely strip him of his right to say anything is wholly unfair. People say, oh well, he says disgusting things and that he caused the families of Sandy Hook to get harassed. He never said any of their names specifically. He never targeted any family members or anything like that specifically or a name. He entertained theories. He saw the negativity of it all, apologized and rebuked what he said. People still acted upon their own volition to harass these people. That's not Alex's fault. Example is the same when Bering tells people, hey, don't go, like leave nasty comments on this person. I don't want this to happen. But I mean, he can say that, but if he can't stop people from doing what they want. It's like freedom to do what you like. So you cannot blame somebody for the actions of somebody else. But that's exactly what the left wants to do, and that's why they want Alex Jones banned. And they're successfully pushing him off. I mean, and this just makes him stronger. Like the hits that he gets on his app now, it's pushing it to #1. He's getting more traffic now than he had last month or in the last year. It's having the opposite effect of what they want. So why is it, just like Tim Pool questions, why is it that Twitter is like, or I mean, people on Twitter are so vitriolic that they are willing to delete their own accounts? August 17th is D-Day, or Deact D-Day. Show Twitter you won't be a part of a place that tolerates bigotry and abusive information. Abusive information, what's that? Specifically from Alex Jones. Deactivate your account on Friday, August 17th. Twitter has 30 days to make it right. That's subjective. After that, account deletions become permanent, and Twitter has lost us all for good. That is how far leftists are willing to go. They will scream bloody murder about people that they don't like, but then will completely pull a 180 and defend to the hilt people that they do like James Gunn. I mean, it's very hypocritical, and the double standards are everywhere to be seen. I mean, but the reason why Twitter is the main fight is because everybody's on Twitter. Everybody and their mom is on Twitter. Like grandma down the street's on Twitter. Little Jimmy, the neighbor boy, he's on Twitter. Your teacher's on Twitter. Everybody has a Twitter account. Okay, that's where people can easily get online, say something, and a lot of people can see it quickly. Who do you know that has a Gab account, that has a BitChute account, or a Minds account, or even a Counter Social account that isn't one of your close-knit group of friends from a big tech platform that you've been maybe shadow banned on or completely banned off of entirely? So you can see why we are putting our foot down and saying Twitter is the place that should be considered a public forum, and they've even stated as such, that they're a public forum and they're open to everybody's ideas. It is a digital public forum. Take a town square with a little soapbox and put that into the digital world, and that's what Twitter is. Now, just imagine a mob of people walk into the town square when people are just trying to discuss and start throwing pieces of fruit and rotten vegetables at these people, and then take the pitchforks and their torches and run them out of the town square. That's what's happening on social media to the likes of Alex Jones, and that's why it is in violation of the Constitution. And this is where here I get to my point. If you want to be heard, you need to be on these platforms. That's where the town square is. These other places like Gab, BitChute, they're down a side alley, and you only have a couple people who will like walk by and listen. If you want to actually be heard and have your opinion actually be heard by the public, because you have a right to say what you want to say, but the public also has a right to hear what you have to say. When people scream, "Oh, no, 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 ban this, ban that, that's hate speech, nobody wants to hear that." Are you sure? Somebody, I guarantee you, somebody wants to hear that. So you denying a person the right to speak, it it affects not just that person, it affects the person who wants to listen as well. You're denying two people their First Amendment rights. Just because you don't like what's being said and you don't want to hear it. That's not how it works. And you cannot use the private company argument to hide behind. Because if you look at the CDA, the Communications Decency Act, Section 230, they the any platform that considers itself a public forum, like Twitter does, need to adhere to certain standards of neutrality. But they are definitely not displaying any kind of neutrality or unbiased behavior in how they're acting. They are banning a lot of people with conservative viewpoints and people who just have opinions that some people find offensive. You can have free speech and say a word, people find it hate speech, and then you'll get banned because a word is considered hateful. It's completely draconian. That on top of the biased behavior, they say, oh, they're private companies, they're owned privately, but they're publicly traded, yada yada yada. But where do you think these companies started up? Yeah, one was created out of somebody's dorm room, and the other one was created out of a garage. But in order to become practical and widespread to be used among the masses as what they are now, they had received massive grants from the government and Kickstarter campaigns from the government to subsidize them and build their monopolies. And in turn, they get so big, they feed back the money to the government through lobbying, and then the government gives them subsidies and tax cuts. It's all one hand washing the other. So there's no way you can tell me that they have a private company protection and aura around them when they are very, very corporatistic. I mean, that is why we need a Bill of Rights to have them adhere to the Constitution and become neutral. If they want to be a public platform, they need to become neutral. And then if they don't want to do that, regulations. I don't want to go to regulations because that is, that is again forcing people to do things, but it's forcing them to adhere to the Constitution. We really just want everybody to agree to a Bill of Rights, and then we can all be happy. But there has to be an endpoint first to all this censorship. We need to have the censorship end and then allow people to talk about this, because if you keep silencing voices, more and more extreme voices will pop up, and then somebody is going to advocate for violence, and then somebody is going to do something rash, and we're going to have a bigger mess on our hands. So that's me. That's my opinion on this. That is why we need a Bill of Rights for the internet. That's why we need our freedom of speech upheld in the digital forum. Twitter needs to stop being so weak when it comes to their terms of service, so weak when it comes to crumbling to third parties which force Twitter to ban people. So it's not even Twitter's direct decision. It's outside factors which cause people to get banned. So that is even worse in some cases if you think about it. So we have to make a stand. There has to be something that has to be initialized. Either alt tech and alt media personalities come together and file a class action antitrust suit against these big tech companies, or lobby our congressmen and our senators to push for a bill, a legislation to be passed. But either way, there needs to be a precedent set to where we can start shifting things back into the realm of free speech and not sliding further and further into censorship. So that is my 2 cents. So remember, thank you guys for subscribing to my YouTube. Over 100 subscribers. Couldn't thank you guys enough. Remember to check out my BitChute. I also got my other social medias, mine's Gab, etc., etc. But please, everybody, try to maybe get in touch with your congressmen, senators. Maybe talk like in the comment section of people's YouTube videos about maybe organizing some kind of like movement to push for a lawsuit or push for something to be done in the government to stem this draconian use of just silencing people because of hate or yada yada, like the good old reasons. Okay, everybody. Well, this is the Swamp Cleaner. We're gonna have that live stream tonight. Hopefully, I'll let you guys know on Twitter. But I'll see you guys later.